I am on page 28 of the reading book, and this is the writing exercise for the 7 Wonders of the World. This story is about the Great Pyramid of Giza, and before we start this exercise, let me just give you an image to have in your mind. I'm going to type in the title, the topic, the Great Pyramid, and you notice it just finishes it for me. It knows what I'm looking for based on my search history, so I'm just going to click on that. And there's a lot to read about the Great Pyramid, but here is a picture. This was taken in March 2005, and I want to zoom in very closely, or as much as I can, so that you can see these large stones that are boulder. They're not really boulders, they're blocks that are put in here. And remember, we're talking about 7 wonders of the ancient world. These are things that were man-made and carried by people. And you can see people standing there next to those things. You can imagine how heavy they were in the days when there was no technology, at least not the technology we have today, and when people did manual labor. They didn't move things with forklifts and bulldozers. This is physical man labor. Okay, back to our writing exercise. This passage has a lot of errors. That is the point of doing this. And I want to read it to you first, and then I will go back through with my red pen and mark the mistakes. So as I read it, it has no punctuation, and I'm going to just read it the way it's written and let you hear how very bad it sounds. The Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza is on the Giza Plateau near the city of Cairo, Egypt. The pyramid is about 756 feet long on each of its 4 sides. It is 520 feet tall. It took workers about 20 years to construct the monument. The Great Pyramid of Giza is made of limestone, granite, and mortar. This massive structure was built as a tomb. It makes me tired to read that because it's not punctuated correctly. So let's go back. We are going to use those rules that we've been recording in the reference section of this book. And here we go. I know with titles, the first, last, and all important words are to be capitalized. So, great is an important word, pyramid is an important word, of is not. It's a tiny connector word, so we don't capitalize of. I do want to check the indent, and it was done. That's a good thing. First word. This is a proper noun. It is a specific place on the map. The Great Pyramid of Giza is on the Giza Plateau near the city of Cairo, comma, Egypt, and full stop right there. If there's a full stop, there's a capital letter. The pyramid, and I don't need to capitalize that pyramid because it's not saying which one. If it says the Pyramid of Giza, then I capitalize. But pyramid is a common noun. It doesn't need to be capitalized. The best rule of thumb I can give you, if in doubt, leave it out. If you're not sure you should capitalize, do not capitalize. And that will usually work out just fine. The pyramid is about 756 feet long on each of its 4 sides. Full stop. We don't want an apostrophe there, even though the sides belong to the pyramid. We're not saying it is. Okay? So here we capitalize. It is 520 feet tall. Full stop. It took workers about 20 years to construct the monument. Again, unless it says Giza, we don't capitalize it. Here we go. Great Pyramid of Giza. That is very specific. That's a proper noun. The Great Pyramid of Giza is Mad-E. There's a spelling error there. Of limestone, comma, granite, comma, and mortar, period. Remember, when you have 3 things in a list, in a series like this, 3 or more, you put the commas in there. That's called a series. Capitalize after a full stop. This massive structure was built as a tomb. Full stop. So most of the errors in this one are capital letters that I need to correct, but there are a few punctuation mistakes as well. So let's rewrite our passage. I'm going to move down here so that I can see what I'm doing. And I do want you to rewrite this one with me. We are going to fix our mistakes, and then we'll go back and annotate the corrected paragraph. So this will help you practice your writing skills and just get used to writing a lot. This is a lot to copy. So the first thing I want to put is my title. First word is always capitalized. Important words are always capitalized. Little words are not, but the last word always is capitalized. The Great Pyramid of Giza. We need to indent. An indent just means that you move that first line over. That's very important. The Great Pyramid of Giza. If you could see this name on a map, it needs to be capitalized. Is on the Giza Plateau. Again, if you get to the end of the line, don't try to squeeze it in. Just go to the next one. And you notice how I went all the way back to the margin this time. You only indent the first line. Plateau, that's a tough word to spell. It's very unusual to have that many vowels in a 2-syllable word. Near the city. City is a common noun, but Cairo is very specific. And this looks like Cairo, but it's pronounced Cairo. The A is silent. This is one time when 2 vowels are walking and the second one does the talking. And the country is Egypt. And then we had a full stop. So if I'm typing, I make a space. If I'm writing, I leave a space and capitalize. The pyramid. Pyramid is a common noun. Is about. If it's a digit that has 3 numbers in it, we can write the numeral. We don't have to spell it out. Feet long. On each of its 4 sides. And we're going to build a pyramid later in our extension. You'll get to see those sides and how that all fits together. So, on each of its 4 sides, period or full stop, capitalize. It is 520 feet tall. Full stop, capital letter. It took workers about 20 years to construct. As long as my number has 2 digits, I can use the number. I don't have to spell it. 20 years to construct. Period. Capital. The monument. Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake here. This is part of that sentence. I put the full stop in too soon. So here's what you do. If you're writing an essay and you realize that you have made that mistake, I did not do this on purpose, but I'm glad it happened so I can show you this. All you have to do on your test or anywhere, it's perfectly fine to cross out the mistake. Just mark it out. Don't do this to it. Do it neatly. Just mark it out with some lines and pick up where you left off. It took workers about 20 years to construct the monument. Full stop. Do not erase and start over because you don't have time. If you're typing it, you can do that pretty easily. You can just backspace. But if you're writing this by hand, do not start over. Just mark those what I've done here that I didn't mean to do. Mark it out neatly and just keep going. Okay, full stop after monument, so then I would capitalize. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Is, and I have mad E. I put a space in there accidentally. I just want to make that to be the word made. The Great Pyramid of Giza is made of limestone, comma. That's 1. Granite is 2. Remember, I have to have 3 or more, and I do. And mortar. Full stop. This massive structure, massive means immense, very large. I should have used the word immense because that's a vocabulary word. This massive structure was built as a tomb. And we know what a tomb is because we've been studying that. Okay. So let me reread this and let's see how it sounds. The Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza is on the Giza Plateau near the city of Cairo, Egypt. The pyramid is about 756 feet long on each of its 4 sides. It is 520 feet tall. It took workers about 20 years to construct the monument. The Great Pyramid of Giza is made of limestone, granite, and mortar. This massive structure was built as a tomb. Do you hear how much smoother and easier to read that is? All because of those punctuation marks and capital letters. The punctuation tells me when to slow down or stop, and the capital letters help me to understand the main points, the main things that are being discussed in the story. I am going to stop this video, but I will come right back and we will annotate this paragraph.